the cold black mud.
Old Gods of Appalachia, I will start right from the top, is a horror campaign that may contain material not suitable for all audiences. Listener discretion is advised. Hello, welcome to Guilty Hole, West Virginia, right near the border of the great states of Kentucky and Ohio, and where at one time the town only existed as woods as old as people have walked the earth and filled with things even a little older. Now, a blue moon is as rare as, well, as a blue moon. But Gazzy Smythe said there would be one this evening, and she's not one to be wrong on such things. But blue moons are usually relegated to August in these parts, so what could that mean? Big energy, perhaps? Excitement? Maybe a little trepidation? So I'm going to go around and again let everybody introduce themselves. The links have been dropped in the chat. Let them say who they are. We'll start with Evangeline up in the top left and go clockwise around.
Yes, I am Evangeline Antonia Blank, an uppity explorer who would rather be reading.
Jericho.
I'm Jericho Eligast, a superstitious herbalist who serves the grain.
Annie-Lynn.
Hi, my name is Annie-Lynn. I am an honorable protector who walks these woods.
William Matheson.
Hi, I'm William Matheson, and I am a cursed explorer who cannot escape the darkness.
And as I said before, none of us can really escape the darkness once it's upon us. Volney.
Can I say too true?
Mm-hmm.
And Volney.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, I'm Volney Hale Rogers. I'm an uncanny speaker who possesses the gift.
As a true Southerner, I need to have my tea pretty much 24 hours a day. Sometimes sweet, sometimes not. Doesn't matter too much to me, but I just have to keep it going. The wrong kind of glass, but, you know, we do what we can do around in these parts. So, Gazzy Smythe said there would be a blue moon this night. That doesn't make sense. It's not August. We're not going to be working the land hard at this time of year, so something's up with that, I suppose. But the rest of the town is, of course, getting ready for the Saturday romp when everyone gets together to dance, drink, not alcohol, because we're in Prohibition, as it's January 13th, 1922, and we've been dry for 2 years, officially, of course. So why don't we find out where everyone is at this moment and get kind of a handle on what's going on in Guilty Hole. Why don't we start? Let's start backwards and go around. Volney, why don't you tell us where you are and what you're doing, what you're up to?
I am currently at the church, making sure pews are clean, making sure aisles are clear for when Sunday comes around, making sure there's no leftover coins left over on the ground, making sure any water is okay.
Well, as you're cleaning up, one thing you do notice that there is actually a coin on the ground. A rarity, of course, but it is a coin after all.
I'm going to pick up that coin.
It's a funny coin. It has a little hole poked in it. You've seen a couple of these around town. I think they're called scrip. They're given out by the coal mine. Sawmill don't give out script, but the coal mine does.
Oh, darn. I'll ask around to see if it needs this.
Well, you're the only one around the church right now. Everyone else is starting to clean up for the romp. And the church, of course, involves themselves in all romps and dances and anything involving miscarriages of the Bible.
Then I'll pocket it and hope I can pass it on to one of the miners later on.
Ah, very nice of you. And what are you doing, William Matheson?
It's the afternoon, so probably on my lunch break at the mill. Working at the lumber mill, at least at the moment.
You do?
I mean, it's good money, so.
Yeah, you get 30 minutes, and the mill has the best cooking of any business in this whole place. Loggers and lumberjacks, they all know if you want a good meal, you work for the mill. They have a great cook. They have cookies, which are the assistants, keeping you all fed. You have to have a lot of food in you to cut down trees all day. While you're sitting there, a couple of people that other mill workers are sitting there and they're looking at you, and they come over. So, are you going to be at the romp tomorrow?
Of course. Why wouldn't I be?
Yeah, I was thinking of going too. But Gazzy said there's going to be a blue moon, and well, my mama don't know what that's supposed to mean. She said maybe be careful because a blue moon in January don't make no sense.
I mean, that's only tonight, though. It's not tomorrow.
Well, tonight leads to tomorrow, don't it?
I guess technically, but...
Probably don't mean nothing anyhow.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
That's true.
Plus, it's tomorrow night anyway, so...
Yeah, the owner said she might let us... I mean, don't say it out loud. She might let us out a little early today, which ain't nothing. That ain't never happened. But she's a little concerned about the blue moon, or she wants to see it. I'm not sure which it is. It's supposed to come early, so who knows? To me, it don't matter. What matters to me is getting out early.
Early days, great.
Early days. And they sit and eat with you for a bit. Annie-Lynn McSweeney, what are you up to at this time?
Well, I'm actually walking back into town with Jericho.
Okay.
I have just escorted him through the woods. He likes to come with me sometimes on my morning rounds to, collect his herbs and things. Ain't that right, Jericho? There's certain things you collect.
Well, I had to find some more bloodroot, chicory, yarrow. I found them. I appreciate the company.
Yeah. I don't like him wandering by himself. I mean, I don't really like wandering by myself too much, but, I got my things to protect me, and it's only right to protect the folks that, want to go find some things to help others.
And while you're looking, you happen to find on the ground, just sitting there under some brush, a piece of pottery perhaps, or clay, broken. Like a handle.
Jericho, did you drop some pottery or something? Did you bring something with you?
Not today, not besides what we usually drop. What do you got there, Annie?
I don't know. Look under this bush right here. There's some
I'll
sort
be.
of pot or...
That don't look like it was made in these hills.
It
No,
don't.
it don't. It don't look like anything anybody's made around here.
You should touch it.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Jericho pulls out a rat's tail for good luck. You should touch it.
Oh, Jericho, you always trying to get me to do weird things. You know what? Okay. And then I just pull out a handkerchief. I will touch it.
Okay.
And I bend down and I have a handkerchief over my hand and I pick it up with the handkerchief.
And when you lift it, it is a broken piece off of some kind of a pot that looks like it had a handle. Maybe a big teapot or something, but maybe not. Who knows? But it is clay.
Oh. All right.
And while you're there, you also see under the brush a few footprints. They kind of head into the woods somewhere, but they disappear pretty quick.
Annie, what are your ranger eyes telling
And when
you
I say
about
footprints,
these
I actually mean the prints of feet, not the prints of boots.
All right. Human footprints?
Yeah, of course. I would call them deer
These
tracks or
human
something.
feet.
All right.
Not unusual out in the woods. A lot of kids running around barefoot out here.
Yeah, ain't nothing too weird. Maybe somebody got a souvenir from up north or something. I'm just going to leave that there. Maybe somebody wants to come back for it.
Seems fair. Probably was a present.
Yeah, probably some kids messing around. I see that way too often out here.
Sun's getting high, and
Yeah.
I'll get back to town.
Yeah. Let's get back to town.
So you head back to town. Evangeline, what are you up to at this time?
Yes. I suppose that I'm probably down at the general store. That's a perfect place to meet people, badger them, ask them questions, and ingratiate.
Well, as you're coming out, it so happens to be that you bump right into Gazzy Smythe. And-
Hello. Have we met?
Oh, no, but I know who you are. You're that,
Hello, I'm Evangeline.
the city slicker from Maine or Boston or something?
Yes, I'm from Massachusetts, Boston.
Massachusetts. So I hear you've been here snooping around and reading all our books in our library and keeping the kids from being able to learn their history.
Oh, no, of course not. I wouldn't dare hold your children from learning. No, of course not. I'm here to learn about you, actually.
Me?
Yes, you and all the people in your town. I'm very curious. Yes.
Well, what's there to know about this town? There's a few hundred people and a mine and a sawmill. Not much goes on beyond that.
Yes, well, that's exactly it, you understand. This is the perfect place to study. I love to study people, and in particular their religions. And you down here live in the perfect space for ideas to gestate and be born. And I just want to know what sort of ideas you have.
Well, I'm not sure what a gestate is, but I don't like being called it in the first place, so I think I need to put it into that word, whatever that is. It sounds kind of foul and
Oh, no.
Borderline
of course
offensive.
not. You misunderstand. I love having the opportunity to speak to all of you and learn about you.
Well, you can learn most about us, I guess, from the romp tomorrow when everyone's dancing and talking and drinking.
Some sort of party.
Yeah, a lot of Saturdays we get together in a town and we gather. You know, we work hard during the week, so we want to take a little time for ourselves.
Oh, that's excellent. I love that idea. Now tell me, will there be any booze?
Our town is officially dry, you know that, right?
Oh, yes, every town is officially dry since Prohibition, but, you know, every town does have a little wiggle room with that, it does seem.
You look like somebody who could find the booze without even asking an old lady like myself.
Yes, but, the older women do always have the secrets in the town, you know.
That is true. We do have our secrets, don't we?
Indeed.
So, you know, TJ Booker, the tap room that's closed.
Yes, I did notice it. Unfortunately, it is closed.
TJ Booker, though, he ain't closed.
Oh, and where might one find him if they were looking?
Oh, you'd have to go to his house. He don't deliver into town. He's too nervous about what do they call those fellas from the city now? The
Bootleggers?
Federal Bureau of something or something.
Oh, last.
Trying to keep away from them and, you know, stay off their lists of people to mess with.
Yes, they can be troublesome. I have heard.
So how much liquor are you looking to buy from Booker?
Not much, but, you know, in case one needs one, you know, sip medicinally, it is important to find a supply.
I can't even imagine you need more than a flask to get yourself pretty much plastered across the whole town.
No, of course, you know, just a little tipple here and there, you know, for medicine.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people say around here. They need it for their medicine. Well, enjoy the blue moon tonight. I think it's going to be really exciting. We ain't had a blue moon in January, and honestly, I don't know how long it's been. I don't remember one in my lifetime, so who knows?
Oh, God, a blue moon? That's interesting. Tell me more.
And as you're talking, you see Jericho and Annie-Lynn, who you have met once or twice, coming in from the woods. And off at an angle, you also see that there is the odd feller that cleans the churches or something. Volume or it's hard to remember his name.
Oh, I don't remember that one's name, but I'm sure he's full of ideas. I should go speak to that one, I'm sure. Well, if you'll excuse me, ma'am, it was such a pleasure speaking to you. I'd love to do it again sometime and get other thoughts you have, if you don't mind.
I can only divulge thoughts of mine over some of that stuff that we were just talking about. You know that, that's the only way that I can unambiguously be freed of all of my thoughts of nervousness about telling secrets I shouldn't be talking about.
Ah, of course. You have every belief in my confidence. Mum's the word.
Nice to
Just
meet
between
you.
us girls.
Nice to meet you. And she
Right
heads
back at ya.
and she heads into the library.
And yes, Evangeline will sort of take her busybody self across over to the chapel to the weird fellow who does the cleaning.
Nice to meet you, Evangeline. Hope you have a nice day.
Yes, Miss Annie. It's a pleasure.
Miss Blanc. Is it
You
right?
too,
Blanc?
Jericho.
Blanc? That's French, right?
Sure.
Miss Blanc.
We did pay for the title.
Keep going. Head down. Blushing slightly.
It's all right, Evangeline. He's a funny fella, but pay him no mind.
Don't worry. He seems fine and harmless.
If you ever have any trouble with anybody, you let me know. Between you and I, even though I am the game warden, sheriff around here ain't doing much. So it's kind of on me to keep an eye on things.
And somebody passing by says, "The sheriff around here ain't doing nothing, not much," and just keeps
Oh, my.
walking.
Well, we'll have to do something about that, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Have you written to a senator or something?
Oh my, Miss, I have written to almost anybody. I've written to the president. I've written to the state. I've written to the government. I've been in more town halls than I can even count. Ain't nobody listening to me. I'm just one game warden in this whole county. Ain't
Wow.
nobody care.
You don't have like an uncle or something in like the Senate? What?
Oh, Miss Evangeline, you think me one of those fancy northerner folks? No, I ain't got nothing but my daddy, and he's a retired miner. I ain't got nobody, no how.
Oh. Well,
no.
Maybe one day he'll do something.
Yes, you have a nice day now, ma'am.
And while you're talking, you hear in the distance the sound of the whistle from the sawmill. And you know that means that the sawmill is done for the day, and that never happens this early. I mean, it's barely it's echoing to here because you're pretty far away. But William, you hear that go off, and it's just ending lunch.
Well, looks like it's quitting time.
And everyone is sort of stunned for a moment. Do you think the whistle's broken?
I mean, if it whistled, right?
I agree. And then suddenly there's like a rush to
Let's get out of
to
here.
get out. Everyone leaves early. And as you're leaving, there's a woman that you know standing. I mean, for you to leave, there's two ways to leave. You can head down the road or you can cross the train bridge. The train bridge is faster. But she's standing out there and she's saying, "Enjoy the blue moon, everybody." And that's the owner of the mill. I'll see you at the romp, too. And she's just,
Yes, have a great evening.
she's just saying bye to everybody, which she does often. Not every night, but not every time, but often. See you on Monday.
Monday.
And you head out, I assume, towards town.
Mm-hmm.
All right. While you're heading to the town, you hear a weird sound. It's not like an animal that you've ever heard. it's more like machinery, but way in the distance. And you don't know of it. You only know of 2 places with machinery: the mill and the mine. And it doesn't sound like any machine you've heard in either of those places. So, who knows what that means?
Which direction is it coming from?
It sounds like it's coming from the direction of up.
Just like starts looking up.
Nothing there. It's a cloudy day, though.
Anybody hear that? Just like, kind of just...
Most people are just kind of
anybody
bumping
nearby.
past and moving. It's not super loud, but you can hear it. Another person, yeah, I hear something. It sounds like somebody's running the saw or something, but it ain't the saw.
Yeah,
Keeps going.
We just got out of the lumber mill. For now, like, just take... I don't know how I feel about that. And we'll just head back off to go get cleaned up at his room.
Okay, so...
And if he passes anybody on the way.
Yeah, that sound, it eventually fades. You know, it takes a few minutes and it's gone. It's a weird sound. When you get to the town, you can see that some of the older ladies and older gentlemen have been putting up decorations, and there's now streamers running between some of the businesses and buildings. And you think you see somebody in TJ's tap room, but nobody goes in there because that's a closed tavern. You know, you can't really go in there. I mean, you can go in there if you want. There's no booze, so what's the point?
If he notices any of the like older folks having trouble with like getting to a higher point or different things like that, he'll
you find plenty of that.
Just as he's kind of like walking through.
Okay, you're helping people.
Ingratiating.
Right. And you see Volney kind of meandering the street.
Howdy, Volney. How's the churches? And that's, where I normally see you hanging out.
Oh, thank you, Billy. They've been doing well. If you meet anybody at the mines, I'm going to take out that little coin and hand it off to Billy if I can.
It's scrip. It's a coin that can only be spent at the general store owned by the mine. And you know that the miners, 25% of their pay is paid in scrip. And they can only spend at the general store. And the general store is infamous for its highly jacked up prices. But it does provide things that people need all the time. So people they're loath to not spend there. They would just rather it be in American money rather than company money.
Well, thank you, Volney. I normally work I do hang around with the miners occasionally, but I'm at the lumber mill mostly. But I'll see if anybody's in need of it.
Well, lumberers...
Just pocket it.
Yeah, lumberers are a lot smaller number than miners. They don't need as many in the lumber mill and along the lumberjacks, things like that. The teamsters who carry the logs, pull the logs, move them around. So lumberjacks are often seen as sort of the step up from miner. If you can be a lumberjack or work in the mines, that is a step up, both in pay and in quality of life, although it is no easier of a job. But you're not in the dark 10 to 12 hours a day. So some people like that.
Definitely.
So you go about your day for a few more hours doing the stuff you normally would do. And you can see the moon is actually out early. Like, you've seen moons that are out in the middle of the afternoon. Well, it's like 3, 4 in the afternoon and the moon is out. It's pretty big today, too, which is nice. But the moon is always seen as something There's superstitions wrapped around the moon all through Appalachia. Most of them are around cycles and timings and things like that, but this don't make no sense because there's no timing for this. At least as far as you know. And you see some of the kids are starting to come around. School got out, and they are coming to help set up for the romp. Now, there aren't that many kids in the school. You know, a lot of the kids, once they hit about 12, they're working in the mines, or they're working in the lumber mill, or working shops, whatever. But up until 12, you know, they have to learn to read, write, and arithmetic. And a couple of them know you. Billy.
Yeah.
Billy.
Howdy, y'all. What's going on?
What are you doing out this early?
We got called off early. I don't know. Something about the moon.
At work?
Mm-hmm.
I want to work there. I want to work less. My mom says I need to work hard and long, and I'd rather work less or none.
Don't we all? But it is hard work. You gotta be big and strong to work in the mill.
Feel this. Puts out
And
muscle.
Yeah. Oh man, you're getting there. Here, and then he'll like grab his axe like off his hip that he owns and says, "Can you hold on to this?" Just like kind of
His
is
face
holding
just
it by
goes
the
white,
blade.
and he's like, oh, and he reaches for it, and he puts his hands around the handle,
Mm-hmm. And I just gently let go of the weight.
and it goes to one side, right into the dirt. Oh my gosh, you might be the strongest person I've ever known.
Now when you can handle this, and then he like full on heps it, does like a little swing and like hooks it over his shoulder. When you can handle this, then you can work at the mill. And then like rehold like
Other
reholster
kids
it.
come around to see that. They're like, oh, you got to. Do you cut down trees all day?
Most days.
And do you ever cut yourself with that thing while you're doing it?
No. I mean, there's always chances, but we're pretty smart about that.
And while you're talking, you hear beep, 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 beep. And there are like no cars in this town. And if there are, they're just the rich people on the edges. And you see a car coming up the road. Very rare.
Hustle the kids off.
And
Well,
and they go past. And they arrive in the middle of the town. And they stop their car. There's two gentlemen get out. One of them has a fedora, well-dressed, and starts looking around, and he sees Evangeline. And you see him head over to Evangeline, of course. The only sophisticate in the whole place. Ma'am, if you don't mind me asking, I hear there's a Gazzy Smythe that lives around here that I'd sure like to have words with if you wouldn't mind pointing me in a direction.
Perhaps may I ask why?
Well, she is a cousin of mine and has said that there is a blue moon in January going to happen tonight, and that don't make no sense to none of us. So we got some friends coming in and family to see what that means. See if she has any more to this.
This seems unusual and odd to me.
It is.
Might I perceive whether or not they're being above board?
You can attempt to do that.
Oh, I'd try to read what they're doing.
Yeah, you could do that.
Okay.
So you'll be rolling a d20
Yes.
against a... They're pretty slick. I'm going to set them at a 4. So you need a 12 or more, unless you have ways of easing that. To ease it, you could use skills or talents or push it.
Yes. So, I don't know if... Well, I don't know if this applies. I do have some skills that might apply, but I'm not certain. So I have peacefully opening conversations with strangers as a skill. I'm trained in that. And I don't know if trying to navigate this to probe what they are trying to get at would allow me to keep them at ease so I can get information out of them.
I'd let you use that.
Okay. All right.
Because you're a talker, and he's pretty obviously a talker.
Yeah.
Seems like it'd be an easy thing. There are dogs in the town running loose. Hey. Exactly. No. Wow, that worked. Thank you. So I'm going to let you ease it by 1. So that'll bring it down to a 9 instead of a 12.
Okay.
For those that don't know, every level is a 3, added. So that eases it by 1 level, down by 3, brings it to a 9 instead of a 12.
And I rolled a 14.
Awesome. And he looks at you, and you're like, you look familiar to me. Have you been in the news?
Relatively recently, my father did just actually make a killing on the oil markets, as a matter of fact. He is a doctor, well known, but he did invest well.
And pray tell, what are you doing in a town like this? You look
I'm
like
doing
someone from New
research.
York.
I am from the Northeast, yes. I am here doing research.
And
I'm on sabbatical, you see.
family? You got family here too?
No, actually. I do not. Friends of family, but that's about it.
And what do you research in a place like this? Farming
The people,
techniques
of
or
course.
what?
The people, of course.
And they look so dumbfounded at that answer. So, like, histories of people, like where they come from or their families, or
In a way, yes. As a matter of fact, the histories of their beliefs and the way they think.
that sounds so much like something from a New Yorker or a Northeasterner, I suppose. Because
does not.
most of it means nothing to me. Interesting.
Well, so tell me what you are here looking for. I hope I can help.
I'm looking for Gazzy. I heard this, got friends coming, and I needed to speak with her.
And what were the friends for?
Well, they all want to get their... He looks around for a moment. And by the way, there are kids kind of like all starting to gather around the car, look at the car. Like, what is that cool thing?
I mean, I was gonna say William was also going to walk up and kind of chastise them for almost running a group of children over.
Yeah, they must have
but
been
it's
driving
good for
at
that.
least like 25 miles an hour, which is ridiculous.
I'm waiting
Wow.
for them to finish their conversation.
I hear she does readings on blue moons.
Oh, what sort of readings? The future?
Among other things, yes.
Can I join? I'd love to.
I don't roll dice. I almost rolled the die. This is on you. Have you ever been... Of course you've been in a car. If you want to hop in, we'll go find it. If you will direct me to their home.
Oh, happily. I'll hop in. You drive.
You said you drive like you know how to drive.
Oh, no, she doesn't. She's just used to ordering other people to drive her.
Okay. Well, I'm Cora. Very nice to meet you.
Ah, Cora. I am Evangeline.
All right, kids, you need to...
Y'all gotta be careful with that thing. They almost, you almost hit us.
Didn't you hear the horn?
Just saying, we heard it, but y'all are moving faster than a horse. It's kind of hard to avoid you.
I avoided you. I curved a little bit around you and the two kids, right?
I mean, none of us got hit, but I'm just saying, just be a
I'm just saying, what's the point of having an automobile, a motor car like this if you ain't going to go faster than a horse? I may as well ride a horse. And you hear that, Jericho and Annie. You see people in town gather around this car, and he's talking very much like, well, you heard what he said.
Horses,
No.
man.
Now, I'm not trying. I'm just saying to be more aware. That's all I'm saying.
I'm not trying to get in the middle of anything here. I'm just trying to get
Exactly. Everybody's safe, everybody's good, just something to be aware of. We're not used to having vehicles in this town. We're not used to avoiding them.
If I
Something to be
may,
aware of.
is there going to be a problem here?
Oh, no. No, officer? Wait.
Yes, I am an officer of the law. Just not the sheriff, but I am a game warden.
You do have a badge, right? Do you have a badge, like a game warden badge? Do they have badges or just a patch?
Yes, they do. They have badges.
Okay, badge. So the badge is like, it takes him. He actually literally takes a step back for a moment, like, of course, not. I'm not trying to make any trouble with either with the law or with the citizens of what's the name of this town? He says to you, Evangeline.
You all right, William?
It's
Fine.
All right.
And Evangeline, you see, is getting in the car on the other, or actually waiting. I don't know. Are you getting in the car? Or are you waiting at the door to be let in?
Oh, she's already in there. She
Okay.
does not have patience for this
Okay.
conversation. And she's also enjoying watching it happen.
We all know
imagine
you're
her
in guilty.
sort of leaning on the door like,
My apologies, ma'am. I don't want to hold you up. I do need to get to Gazzy's and get this done. Have a good afternoon and a good blue moon, from what I hear.
Have a good blue moon, and please drive safely around these parts.
I will. I'll slow it down for you and the little ones. He says it to you, William.
I'll make sure to keep an eye on him. He does seem like trouble.
Annie, I gotta get all these flowers and herbs home. They're drying out up here.
Oh, right.
I'll see you later tonight.
Oh, yeah, but before you go, my daddy's been having, his nightmares again.
Yeah.
Do you have anything on you right now that I could maybe dry up, make into a tea, help him sleep?
I definitely do. Is it the sleep again? Is he sleeping and having the bad dreams, or just not sleeping at all?
Oh, well, thankfully it's not the really bad nightmares where he gets up screaming and wandering around. It's just the nightmares that he imagines in his mind. He told me about it at breakfast this morning, that he's been having the troubles again while he's sleeping. So,
Well, I'll just hand you a little handful of dried herbs and a little bit of bark that you shouldn't ask too much about. Just steep it. You should be fine. This is about 4 nights worth.
all right.
I can even
Thank
show
you.
you where I gathered that in case you ever need to get it on your own next time we're out in the wood.
Oh, no, it's all right. I'm trying to mix, kind of the old and the new medicine a bit with his black lung.
There's a season for all things, Annie.
Yeah.
Even blue moons, it seems.
Who knows? Maybe he won't have any nightmares tonight. Maybe this blue moon will help him out.
I'll see you tonight or tomorrow. I gotta get these up. My yarrows are just whittling away in the sun.
Yeah. Go on now.
Have a good
Take
one,
care,
Jericho.
William. Thanks for looking out
Thank
for
you.
the little ones.
Of course.
And the car takes off in a way that's gentle enough, but also as if they're still in kind of a rush, but not like blasting through, but definitely not meandering through like a slow ride. Evangeline, the wind starts going through your hair, and you've felt that before. That's a feeling you don't get here very much. The last time, as a matter of fact, was when you were being driven to catch the train in Boston. and your father was talking to you about what you're going to need to do to stay safe in a place like this. His advice, of course, was don't go. It makes no sense to go. Evangeline, there ain't nothing down there for you. All it is a bunch of rednecks sleeping out in the woods and drinking moonshine. Why would you go to a place like that?
Father, you know there are people just like you and me. Yes, they may be a little less educated and have less money than we do, but that doesn't mean they're not people.
I don't understand why I can't study the people in places like Boston. They're people too. Or maybe New York or Washington, D.C. Like
Yes,
metropolitan.
and that's been done before. And if I'm going to make any notoriety of myself, I have to do something different.
And while you're talking to him and he's driving you, you see for the first time, probably in your life, an aeroplane fly over the highway. And you're like, well, it's not very big. It is moving at speeds like you've never imagined, like bird speed.
Wow, look at that. It's not just the bee's knees, Father. That's one of those aeroplanes.
And your father's also looking at it. And when you look forward, you realize you're about to run into something. And he turns quick and both of you almost hit a pole, but stop. Oh my God, it's like we just saw the future.
What?
That thing, that contraption, it was like the future.
Oh, yes. Yes.
People can fly. Since 1903, you know.
Yes, I'm aware, Father. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. Things need to change.
Then why are you going backwards instead of forward?
But the only way to truly move forward is to find new things. Go where people haven't. The only way I'm going to learn something new and bring it to people is if I go where other people have not been. And frankly, no one's paid attention to these people, and this is ripe for new ideas.
I'm not so sure there is anything new there to learn. But, and he sees your face, but I'll let you be the judge of that since you're going to go regardless of what I tell you. And he starts the car up again and turns around, goes around the pole and gets on the road. And you have mostly a quiet ride the rest of the way to the train station. And you're feeling that wind whipping through your hair again while you're here, and just remembering how pretty awesome fast is. And your dad was a little too fast in the car too. So I'm kind of in shock that anybody is here to research anything, but I think it's kind of interesting that you are. Did you come here alone? Do you have how did you make this trip? You come by train, car, horse? Do you know how to ride a horse?
Yes, of course, I know how to ride a horse. I learned English style as a child. Yes, I came by train. After a car, yes. And I came on my own. It was a wonderful ride, going down to Chattanooga. And then it was a bumpy ride, getting down here after that.
Yeah, I'm sure about that.
But it's beautiful down here.
Yeah, they say that there's a lot of beauty in nature or something like that. Now,
Yes.
I'm not really sure what that means. Every time I look at nature, I see things that are ready to kill you, bite you, sting you.
I suppose you're rather used to it. I tend to be surrounded more by bricks and stodgy old men in suits. This is a nice change of pace once in a while.
Yeah. Are you, have you found if there's any, liquor in this town?
Not as of yet. Have you?
Well, I'm hoping Gazzy will tell me if I'm going to be here for a couple days, I want to make sure that I'm not as dry as a blue moon.
I've heard a few rumors, but nothing concrete. If you find out, let me know. I'll do the same for you.
Will do, ma'am. And keeps driving to wherever you tell him to go. Do you know where Gazzy Smythe lives?
I assume if Gazzy Smythe is a relatively prominent person...
Yeah, she's known.
I've already figured out where she generally is. And then I'm more than happy to ask around once we're close.
All right, you haven't been to her home, but you know where it is. It's kind of a long drive compared to, the places in town, directly in town. It's kind of out in the woods a bit.
Yeah, then Evangeline will pull out her notebook and she'll be like going through her notes to direct. Oh, I think go this way. There's that landmark there. Turn right at that funny rock, I think.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you eventually get to the first 3-story home you've seen in the town, built in a U shape with a courtyard, a fountain in the middle, and you realize not everyone here is poor.
Interesting.
And the car pulls up. Back in town, of course, you see the car go by. A minute or two later, you see Gazzy Smythe walking down the middle of the street, kind of looking at a book and maybe mumbling to herself.
Miss Gazzy, there were some gentlemen here, looking for you with a car?
Here? And
I mean, literally.
I wasn't expecting
right.
anyone.
Oh, jeez, what did he say? Well, Miss Evangeline was directing them to your house, so I'm assuming that you'll see them when you show up, but...
I'm not going to show up for several hours. I got business to do here.
Well,
I guess they're going to wait. Fancy... I do have things to do with the blue moon coming. I have got to make some predictions, as it were. Do you know where Annie-Lynn McSweeney is?
I think she was just heading back. She was just here.
What about Jericho? Maybe he would know.
Jericho went back to his house to go dry up his herbs.
It's like everybody's swirling around me trying to avoid me. I wonder if that's one of the effects of this blue moon. Is everyone swirling around you and trying to avoid you?
No. I'd say, well, all these youngins have been scattering around me. We actually got out of work early, which is weird, but Miss Jenny said that we could leave early and was giving us the...
From the sawmill?
Yeah. I don't know.
What does that... That is an unusual thing.
We just had our lunch and then whistle was blown, we were out.
And as you're talking, you see Adeline, the preacher of the Presbyterian church, walking up the street, kind of admiring the decoration and decor and smiling at the kids running around and playing. And she sees you, Volney. Volney, is the church ready for Sunday?
I believe so, ma'am.
Have you gotten yourself ready for the romp tomorrow?
Oh, ma'am, you know that it's a little bit difficult for me.
And she puts her arm over your shoulder. You ain't never gonna find somebody by avoiding romps.
I know.
So why don't you... Okay, I'll tell you what. Tomorrow at the romp, I'll dance with you to get you started, and then we'll move you on to someone more appropriate to your age. How's that sound? You know I can dance, right?
You can?
Of course I can. And I think that you need to learn. There's no worse sight than a man who cannot move his feet.
Thank you.
You hear music, your feet should be doing something.
That's true. That's true.
Or your mouth if you're a singer, I suppose. Do you sing?
A little bit.
Let's hear it.
The people at the mine doesn't really appreciate.
Okay, well let's hear it. Let's make our own decision about whether they would appreciate it or not, whether they're appreciating it properly or not.
Okay, above table. Should I actually say?
Only if you want to. You don't have to. I'm not forcing you to sing. But if you want to sing, I'm all for it.
Okay. Wait a minute. I'm trying to think of like old Union songs. I can't think of one. So John Brown lies motoring in his grave. It is. That's what he's singing.
All right. So you're going to sing. And
Maybe.
how loudly do you sing? Are you like whispery? Do you boom?
It's like a middling volume that I sing at, and it's very. There's a movement in it. Like, he knows how to sing because his mom taught him early. Because of the little kids.
Keep singing. Children, get over here. What do you do when you hear someone singing? And she takes them by the hands and starts swinging them around in circles, like dancing. See, it ain't that hard, she says to you. Keep it up, though. The children are going to enjoy this for a moment. And they're all laughing and just loving it. And other people around from the town setting up stuff, a few of them stop and come over. William, you've never seen Volney sing? Volney.
And like, I think he's just kind of like, he's like, I'm just kind of like clapping to the beat and kind of stomping to add some percussion.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. Just.
So tomorrow, you have a choice. I just prepared you a choice. You can sing with the band, or you can dance with the ladies.
Or fellas.
Or
keep our
fellas.
options open.
That's true. Or fellas, or you could sing and dance. So what's it going to be?
I could try to do both, right?
You most certainly can. I think you got it in you, and she pokes you in the chest. You got it there. It's all heart. You got heart. You can't be just moping around the church all the time. We need to get you out and doing stuff.
I'm go in the churchyard.
The churchyard is in good repair at the moment. It needs no work. And tomorrow's a Saturday. It's a day of rest. Play. So we're going to play, and we're going to teach you to play if you resist. It will be forced upon you. And I can force beliefs upon you because I have the Lord with me, and the Lord is telling me that I need to make sure you know how to dance.
Oh, you know how I feel about pushing beliefs on people.
Dance is not a belief. It's just movement.
That is.
Annie, get over here for a moment if you don't mind. Jericho, keep singing.
Yeah.
Can you two show Volney what you do when you hear music? He seems to be under the misapprehension that you just stand against a wall or near a pole or something.
Well, that is something that Volney and I have in common. I'm afraid that the Lord blessed me with 2 left feet. I won't be doing much dancing myself, actually, tomorrow night. I'm just
Oh my gosh.
making sure everybody's having a good time, making sure everybody's safe, you know?
This town has
Jer-
got a real problem that we're going to solve tomorrow. I will see you there,
Jericho's
Annie-Lynn.
holding a whole armful of flowers and reeds and herbs. Tomorrow I will dance with the most of the joy. But for today, I'm at my father's business. And I really have to get things home.
I appreciate the hard work. I will see you tomorrow, Annie-Lynn. You make sure you are here. You got to make sure the place is safe. One of the best places to do it is from the center of the dance. You can see the most people from the most angle.
She's not wrong.
Yeah.
William.
Most of us got our work boots. We can't be harmed by a little bit of stepping. Be fine.
Yeah. Right. Maybe my daddy might be ill that night.
I'm going to go see your daddy right after this, and I think I'm going to invite him and see if he wants to come. He could sit on the side because of his conditions, of course.
Right, yeah.
And he would love to see you. He would love to see you on your feet.
Yeah. He always likes to tell me how much he'd love to see me dancing with somebody. He don't even care who it is. He said he'd rather see me dancing with a dog than by myself. So,
well, we'll keep the dogs away then.
Yeah, right. I hope he means an actual dog and not someone who's mean. But anyway, I'm gonna go. If my daddy wants to go, I'll go.
Okay.
See you there then.
Yeah, right.
And Gazzy, after doing what she's doing, reading her book, she eventually heads over to where she actually has a horse here. And she gets on her horse and rides down the road. Presumably
Good luck with your visitors.
Thank you. See you tomorrow, William. See you tomorrow, Volney. I can't wait to hear your voice again.
Oh, Gazzy.
Yep. What? What?
I was wondering if you could take me to see that odd woman that arrived in town a few days ago.
The odd woman that... Which woman's the odd woman?
The blonde one with the really nice hair.
Evangeline?
Yes.
I
saw her walking towards me a little bit earlier, and then the car showed up.
She got in the car?
Yeah.
Do you know how to ride on a horse? You know how to get on a horse?
Maybe.
That sounded like a no to me, but unceremoniously, I'm a little too embarrassed to say it. Kind of no.
I will not deny that.
William, can you shove him up on the back of this horse?
Yeah, and I'll just lace up my hands and just provide basically just another saddle loop to boost him up.
Yeah.
And you go up. What is your speed?
That's a great question. I never did get an answer on what to put that in.
Oh. Okay, so your speed is 12. Can you make me a speed roll?
Yeah, sure, totally. Yeah. I don't even know a target number for this.
It's a 2, so you need a 6.
Fuck, I got a 3.
You go right over the top and land on the other side of the horse. You miss the grab of the saddle. William threw you too hard. You went right over the top. And the kids start busting out laughing all around.
Hey, it's not funny.
It is funny. Ain't nothing funnier than someone falling.
It's a little bit, but we can't. It's not nice.
All right, we'll help him up.
I go over and I help Volney up. Volney, are you all right?
Yeah, I'm fine. Don't worry.
I'm so sorry.
I'm laughing myself.
Throw him over it again. William, throw him over it again.
That's not going to be my intention, but I will provide just stability instead of a boost.
And Grazzy is snickering. Volney, you get another roll. You just got to roll over a 6. That's it.
Roll over a 6. Okay, cool.
I love that you didn't, though.
10.
10. You catch this time. All right. Wrap them around. Below my titties, though. In case you haven't ridden a horse.
Man.
And she takes off with you at a walk, not too fast, and maybe speeds up a little bit on the way. You okay back there?
A+, doing great.
You get back to the house. The two of you are standing outside the house. You've been out there for a while, and you see a horse coming up with Volney, of all people, on the back.
Hello?
I'm waving hi with a big fat smile on my face.
And she goes to get off the horse, and then she takes your hand, Volney, to help you off.
Yes, I take that hand.
Volney slides off very erratically.
I thought you were going to make me roll again.
I'm not going to make you roll, I know.
Ms. Smythe? Is that you?
It is. And she slaps the horse on the butt, and it goes running off into the woods. Don't go too far.
Hello?
Well, we just met just a few hours ago. You must have some news for me. And you have company and a car.
Yes, I just met this fellow out in town. He said he wanted to visit you. He said you do readings on blue moons. I was fascinated and wanted to know if perhaps I could watch.
Sure, you can watch. And she says, come on in. She hands you her book. She says, can you hold that for me?
Happily.
She
What
gets
is
to
the book?
The book is on astronomical signs.
Ooh. Miss Smythe, could I perhaps look at this, by the way?
If you'd like.
Oh,
Probably won't
thank
make
you.
any sense to you if you don't know anything about astronomy or the readings,
Fascinating.
It's an
yes.
old-looking book.
I'd love to look through that when she's not doing her
Okay.
readings. Yeah.
So Volney said he wanted to see you too. So let's go on inside, everybody. Anybody would like some tea or lemonade?
Sure.
Tea, please.
Lemonade.
And Cora goes, I suppose tea would be quite nice, ma'am. Come on in then. And she goes in the kitchen. She says, there's some seats there if you'd like around the table. She comes out with a tray with lemonade and tea 10 minutes later, and some glasses. And she pours each one of you the one, that you asked for.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
And when you drink it, it is more booze than lemonade. And more booze than tea.
Bless.
And she winks at you, Evangeline. I thought you might like it that way. So, what are we reading for? I know it's a blue moon. It is an unusual blue moon in that it ain't August and it makes no sense that it's here. Do you think you're ready for what something like this might tell you? And he looks at her. I don't know, ma'am. I don't know if I'm ready for it, but I'm not ready for not having it, I suppose. All right, sit down then. Let's do this. Volney, can you light those candles there and bring them over?
Absolutely, ma'am. Thank you. And I'm going to go and make those moves.
We're going to step aside for a moment and go over to the other three in town. And when Grazzy headed out, you all headed, you were going to go to see your father, right, Annie?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And Jericho, where were you going?
Oh, I'm trying to get home.
Okay, so you're going to head home. Home is in the same direction as where Annie's home is. So it's kind of, you go past it to get there. So you drop Annie off as you're walking. And Annie, when you get inside, it's dark inside. It's middle of the day, so it's not like there's a whole lot of need for light anyway. But you stumble over maybe your father on the floor. Oh,
Oh, Daddy. Oh, my. Oh, hold on. Let me light a lamp. Let me light a lamp.
oh.
I go over and I light a lamp.
And he looks at you and he says, he's got like a bruise on his head. He's like, I fell asleep here. My back was sore, so I laid on the floor, I think.
No, it's all right, Daddy. Do you remember lying down here? Or did you just
I kind of remember my back was sore, and it's still a little sore, so
It's all right.
I don't actually remember lying down, but I remember heading to lie down on the floor to straighten out my back,
Yeah, Daddy. I know. How about I sit you down? And I go and I sit him down in his chair.
Okay.
All right. Have you had any lunch yet? I've just come in to check on you before I go back out on my shift.
It's okay. I had some lunch.
All right.
What about you? Have you had some lunch?
I was just gonna go grab myself some bread and then take it with me on the way out. I don't really.
Oh,
need
it's
to
kind of
eat much.
stale. You may want to go to the bakery and get some fresh rather than that. I mean, I can eat that. It's no big deal.
Yeah.
I still got teeth,
bakery.
thank goodness. Thank the Lord for that, right?
Yeah, thank the Lord. Yeah. Are you planning on going to that dance tomorrow night?
I most certainly am thinking about it.
All right. That preacher might come poking around and ask you. Maybe you can lie and say you're not feeling very well and want to stay in
And he looks at you with eyes like piercing. You asked me to do the devil's bidding?
Well,
I am no liar.
it's really a lie. It's more of a bending of the truth because you are, ailing.
Can you grab me that Bible there for a moment? I'm going to look up what it says a lie is, if you don't mind. And
All right, Daddy, all right. You see right through me. I can't get anything past you. Hey, can you do something for me before I head back out? My friend Jericho, he got us some of those herbs to help you sleep, right?
oh, nice,
them
very
nightmares?
nice. And he takes them.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and he gets up to head into the kitchen area. It's one big room here, so
Yeah.
not like there's a bunch of rooms. Yeah, I'll grind them up and get them prepped to make a tea out of it. Would you like some?
No, Daddy. That's all for you. I ain't having any of your medicine. I'm fine with just regular tea.
Some medicine ain't really medicine. It just makes you feel good. I'm not sure that's really medicine.
Yeah, probably just helps with the stress, I guess. Hey,
Are
you
you
been
stressed?
taking
You got stress? Are there animals that are dying out there that need protecting?
Well, I guess you could say I'm a bit stressed from today. Seen some weird things in the woods. Weird cup. Animals been acting strange. I ain't been hearing the morning birds like I usually do this morning. I hope it ain't because people been shooting them out of the trees. I mean, it ain't the season for that, but...
I can't see anybody able to shoot that many birds.
No.
Most people
Or
can
they-
barely shoot their rifle anyway. Not with that kind of
Exactly.
accuracy.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
of course, you could shoot a can from 200 paces, no problem, but
Last competition I only won 3rd place. I only got, $5? That ain't much.
third
All
place
was
out
it
of
for
150 people.
Yeah, I mean, I got you that cough syrup from that fancy new doctor in town. Ain't that helping you out?
Yeah, that stuff is different than the medicine I get from Jericho.
Yeah, that's meant to really help your lungs. It's meant to really help the cough. They do study a lot, them doctor types, and I'm hoping that helps as well.
Yeah, I know, but I don't know if I trust that. It's like, I mean, of course I'm doing what you tell me because I'm your paw, and I trust you're doing the right thing for me. But some of that
Daddy,
stuff makes me feel loopy after I use it. The stuff from Jericho don't make me feel so loopy. It just makes me feel right.
Daddy, you're all I got left. All right? I want you to take whatever you need to take. All right?
And I'm gonna be here a long time. This coughing ain't gonna take me down. I'm getting better anyway. I'm not working the mines no more. So I think I'm gonna be good. I'm excited to go to the romp tomorrow. I love seeing all the kids run and play.
Yeah.
Hopefully they won't throw any sticks or rocks at nobody this time.
Yeah, I gotta get back to work.
All right.
You mind drinking that tea tonight before bed? And I'm gonna also need you to drink that tea before the dance tomorrow night, so it calms you down, so you don't cough as much.
All right. Just like your mother.
All right. Yeah. Ain't got no memory of her, but how I talk all the time makes me think I must just be the clone of her or something.
Well, I got a memory of her, and you are whatever that is you said.
Right. Spitting image, I guess.
Yeah. You do look worried about something. But don't worry about me. I got the medicine from Jericho. I got the medicine from the doctor. I think we're going to be okay. You're doing fine.
Yeah. You stay good. Keep the lights on. I don't want you stumbling around in the dark. I don't want to see you on the ground when I get back. Gave me a fright that
I promise. I won't be on the ground when you get back. Unless my back hurts or something again. Maybe I'll stretch out. I'll stretch out. You know what? I'll stretch out in the chair so you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, and keep the lights on so I don't think you're going to die on me.
All right. I'm not going to die on you.
All
you
right.
go out and do your job. I'll be here when you get back.
You better be.
Stop worrying about me. I'm
All
supposed
right,
to worry about you. I'm the paw.
I closed the door on him.
You head out, Jericho. You make it home.
Oh, the moment I drop off my good friend Annie, my speed quickens. My 6'2" Ichabod crane type form. It's like I start a conversation that I ended earlier once people could hear. I'm like, my spirit is not right with this. My spirit is not at peace, and I'm just gonna walk as fast as I can to my little overgrown shed with the flowers everywhere, the vines holding the lattice board there, my little boat tilted onto the side of the building, as quick as I can get there.
And as you're heading, the scene on the way is, of course, the sky behind it and the trees around it. But right between some of the branches of the trees, you see this moon above it that is taking on a gray hue from either the dust or something in the air from the mine, maybe. And it's sort of wrapped like hands of the branches around it. And it's just an odd look.
Father, if you would also hold my heart such as that. I'm at ease. I am not at ease, Father. And he drops like some petals to watch like how they fall. I've got to get home. And he is going to get home, check his wards, make sure his lines in front of his door are still there, the spider webs are still there, nods and goes in, and there's just parchments and melted candles and petals everywhere. And I am both trained in wilderness lore and understanding magic. And Jericho is going to be looking at his calendar, looking at the moon charts on his wall, pulls out a little watch with a J and an E carved into it that he fingers just a little before putting it back, and he's going to try to figure something out. And I also have an edge in intellect, if that might help me understand this.
It could help you. So, with your... Hold on. Oh, where'd your... Sorry. Ooh, that's a good intellect, too. So, I'm gonna set this at a level 6. It is complicated and it's not something you've ever seen in your life.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to bring all your forbearance upon this puzzle.
So would the edge bring it to 5?
It would bring it to 5 with your edge.
4?
And your training would bring it to 4. So
That's
now you
12.
have a 12. Not impossible.
Oh, he's gonna go for it. If the heavens will it will be. That is an 8, blessed be. Why don't you speak when I need you? You know why I turn to the garden, and the gardener goes so quiet.
You get to your garden though, and there's one unusual thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know where all the spider hollows are in amongst your bushes and trees, and there's a wolf spider nest that is always there to greet you when you come in. He tucks his way back into the funnel, and when you get there, your little wolf spider doesn't move back and looks flattened to the web.
Bernard, I expected you to howl tonight. What's wrong? I'm gonna very lightly prod his home in an attempt to get my friend's attention.
And there's no movement.
A time to reap and a time to sow. I'm gonna grab his body. I can put it to use.
Okay.
As gently as I can.
Yeah.
He was fair. He was a fair guest.
Been there a long time.
Bernard.
But spiders don't live the lives of people.
I worry that there'll be a time soon when none of us are living the lives of people. And he remembers the car almost hitting the children, the moon changing, the sky becoming brown with smoke. I watch the stars because they're mine to watch, but not the moon. That's never been mine. I'm afraid. And then he's just going to pore over his parchments for a while.
Okay. So you're going to spend some time alone with your thoughts and your
At least till
concerns.
evening, and then head back out, possibly.
Yeah.
Probably.
William, what are you doing while you're in town? You see all this going on. People are getting things together, but it looks like it's mostly together at this point. Volney went with Grazi. The car. Evangeline went with the car with Cora, that gentleman Cora. You see Annie down the street coming out, looking a little upset, but she's often a little upset.
Annie, everything okay?
Yeah, it's between you and me, my daddy had a fall. Or at least
Sorry to
what
hear
I
that.
think. Yeah, what I think was a fall. It's kind of spooked me. To be honest, I opened the door and he was just lying on the ground in the dark. You know.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah. Anyway, you enjoying your time in town?
As much as I can. We actually got off work early. Do you need someone to stroll with?
Well, I mean, if you want to come with me,
Got
Life of
nothing
the
else
game.
better to do.
All right. Well,
Daylight.
I warn you, life of a game warden, it really ain't that glamorous. I'm mostly gonna be going around snipping illegal traps, probably writing people citations. It ain't that fun. And honestly, worst of it is, most of the time you see some people out in the woods and they just they ain't too friendly. All right, so just keep your wits about you. Keep your head on, and they'll leave you alone, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. I actually, and I just kind of like look around. I actually kind of got a tree hollow that you might want to check out if you're interested.
Right? Yeah, sure. I can check
Yeah.
that out.
Yeah,
Mhm.
we'll just go around and then I found through some other means. There, I got a little bit of moonshine back there. Not on shift, obviously, but
Right. Yeah. I can't say I partake, but don't worry, I ain't gonna snitch on you or anything. I just you can enjoy that. You know, you can enjoy that.
well, if you ever need some, I'll let you know.
Yeah. I appreciate that. You know, I do.
Mm-hmm. And I'll just have my axe and start going with Annie.
All right.
Here we go.
We're going to go back to Grazzy's house.